Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mark and I thank you so much for coming by today. Has this ever happened to you where you have some extra time on your hands and all you want to do is just doodle? You don't want to get into some elaborate project. You just want to grab a marker or a pen and maybe just draw a little character or a creature, and you just want to have fun doodling. Well, it's all going great for you until you get to the bottom of the page and you realize you didn't leave enough room for the feet. And this poor unfortunate character is sitting here wondering, where are my legs? Well, it happens to all of us, so don't feel bad about it. For me, it happened when I was younger, probably middle school to high school, where I didn't know how to plan out the page properly. And I would jump into a doodle and I would start drawing and not give myself enough space on the page. I see this happen with a lot of amateurs and a lot of young artists. Another thing they do is they don't like to draw hands, or they can't draw hands as they say, so they just leave them out altogether. So this poor young woman is now saying to herself, where are my hands? And without her legs there, she's saying, where are my feet? Well, again, it comes down to planning out the page properly, and that's called composition. What I'm doing here is I'm laying out a bounding box that keeps me within the page, so I'm not drawing to the edges of the page. And inside that bounding box, I'm doing 3 basic geometric shapes to lay out the composition of my drawing. One for the head, one for the torso, and one for the bottom area. I'm doing the same drawing pretty much as I did before, except now I have a guide to work from so I can plan out where everything's going to go and I can keep those feet in the drawing. And that's important because it's about readability. If you're cutting off the feet in your drawing, the character won't look complete to the viewer. And that's the one thing you want to do. Now for the girl character, I'm going to add a couple of more basic geometric shapes because I want to get her hands in there this time, hands and feet. So here I'm just going to do the same kind of drawing I did before, laying it out exactly as I did, except again, I have these guidelines. Now, you don't have to be able to draw really well for this. This is just really basic stuff and just scribbles, if you will, of a doodle that I really enjoyed doing. Except now I have her hands and I have her feet, giving a more fully realized character that's believable to any viewer. And the cool thing is, once I erase these bounding boxes and all these guidelines and things, you'll be able to see the drawing as a whole picture. And now I can relate these two characters together. Hold on, let me brush all these crumbs off here. And you can see there's enough room on this page now for me to do a background, even other characters in there if I want to. Another thing I like to do, if I don't have a pencil and I don't want to do all the bounding boxes and things, is do little dots as my guides. These are the same thing as drawing those basic geometric shapes, except I'm not drawing the shapes, I'm just drawing the little dots, which I will end up drawing through and incorporating in part of the drawing. So here I'm going to draw this little, I don't know, like a dragon guy or something. I don't know, it's just kind of random stream of conscious here. But what I'm doing is the top dot becomes the top point of his head, and I can include that in the drawing. And the bottom part, that next dot down, will be the bottom part of his sort of neck line or jaw. And that gives me the top portion, which would have been the circle geometric shape in the other drawing, of his head. And down here, this next dot, this gives me an indicator of where the character's waist is going to be, the waistline. And as you can see, I can draw right through that and incorporate it into the drawing. And as I get more detailed, little things like this hand can come out here, and I'm not measuring anything out. I'm just kind of doodling at random, and I put this cane in here, which then goes down to the bottom dot. So I can use that as another measuring tool. Now the next dot you see right there, that's going to be where the leg comes up and meets the torso. So I have all these dots as my guides, but again, I can incorporate them into the drawing. The last dot is down where his feet are, and I'll show you that right here. You can't see really where the dot is because I've already drawn through it, but that was the bottom point, and it gave me a great guide to work from. It laid out the composition in a very easy way that didn't really require any sketching or any, pencil marks or anything like that. I can just incorporate it into the drawing, and it makes the character look more realized and more full, and it keeps me working on the page. And of course I had to incorporate this little this little mischievous fellow here. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope it helps you keep your drawings on the page and have a successful time doodling, because doodling is about fun and having a great time. And again, I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much. Take care.